nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, air, rest, and trust in God. So on nutrition, we would be glad if we are able to learn about the kind of food we eat, how our body makes use of the kind of food we eat, whether there is a relationship at all between the food we eat, the health it gives us, and any burden of disease that could bring. And there is so much relationship that we can establish. And according to the WHO, there are 2 leading causes of death on the planet. And the fact has remained unchanged for the past 2 decades. So it's a very worrying trend that we have issues of stroke and then heart diseases has been some of the top illnesses killing people all over the world. So for us at ProHumane, we want to create awareness about some of these issues. So it helps us all to take absolute control by our diets, our health, and our well-being. So in committing to the New Start program, it is very important that we learn how to do the very basic things, which for most of us we may take for granted, but these things helps us to maintain a natural immune system. When we drink water at the right time, it helps cleanses our organs, it helps us in digestion, it lowers blood pressure. So taking water first thing in the morning, it helps us all. So it's something we should all commit to doing. And let's try to take a lot of the foods that cleanse our liver. There are several antibiotics. How many of these are you using each day? Would you want to resort to the use of honey instead of sugar? Turmeric powder is available, several of them as you can see on the chart. So it's great if we would all learn to use what nature gives us. Why do we need to take a lot of water each time? As you can see from the diagram, when we take water, within 0 minutes, it helps to flush our system. Fruits and vegetables are also close to nature. Within 15-20 minutes, it digests. Once we start heading towards cooked food, you could see that the duration increases, like we could see from the diagram. If we take fish, between 45 to 60 minutes, chicken 60 to 90 to 120 minutes, and it follows in that order. So that if we consume a lot of these very late at night and we just retire to bed, you can imagine what harm we are actually causing our bodies. So please, let's all take some clue from this and be careful of what we eat. And recently in Ghana, Daily Graphic reported over 60 dolphins, big fishes were washed ashore in Axim, Wosu, and in Kita. And this should help us to be very careful, the kind of fishes we may be consuming. Please be careful where you get your source of fish, as some of these will cause some health benefits if you do not consume the right fishes, getting them from the right sources. And just from the diagram, you could see how the Daily Graphic reported when they got to the scenes and got some pictures from that. But it's interesting to know that in the past year, similar mass dolphin deaths has occurred in other parts of the African coastline. Not so far, just in February, 111 dolphins were also found dead in Mozambique. And officials related that to low tide, and not so far of just last year, 52 dead dolphins were also found dead in the coast of Mauritius. And all these, the authorities related to causes of earthquake and the volcanic explosions. So perhaps all these could be leading us to also be thinking and planning, just in case the unexpected happens, it could cause us to also be prepared and be a step ahead of time. So today on our virtual meeting do's and don'ts, we would be glad to just encourage if people could rename their handsets or phones or laptops to their names, so that helps us to identify ourselves even as we progress on our meeting. Thank you so much for helping us on that. So today we would be listening to another very insightful presentation. I will have the privilege to introduce to you our guest speaker for the day. Our speaker is the CEO of Life Wellness Holistic Center. He is also the executive director of One with Nature Health Food Stores. He's actually a health and wellness consultant. He is a life coach as well and a certified NLP practitioner. He usually uses natural healing modalities, not using conventional medicine. And he's very, very passionate about what we call energy medicine. So as he progresses in his presentation, we'll get to understand what that means. Kola knows the body heals itself, and he is really empowering people with this knowledge. He actually became a full vegan in 2013 for health reasons, and he will share some thoughts on that. He believes that to fulfill his life purpose, he has to take care of his body first, which houses his soul. Currently, he's the president of the Vegetarian Association of Ghana, which we call VegGhana. Since becoming a vegan, he has lost over 35 kilos naturally. And most of the health issues he had hitherto had been kept at bay. He lives a blissful, stress-free, healthy lifestyle facilitated by yoga and meditation practice. And as we progress in our series, at some point, we would take a whole topic on yoga and meditation. So it helps us know the benefits we can employ from that as well. So until he discovered his true life purpose as a light worker, he had extensive experience working from the banking operation and marketing spanning over 20 plus years, where he worked with institutions such as EcoBank Nigeria PLC, EcoBank Ghana Limited, Stanchart now in Ghana, which you know to be UNB, and he's been running his own financial microfinance company. In terms of qualification, he holds a Bachelor of Science degree in economics and an MBA in finance from the University of Leicester, United Kingdom, and from Nigeria, respectively. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the singular honor and privilege to introduce to you our speaker for the day. He is no other person than Mr. Kolawole Braimah. Welcome, sir. We are glad to have you. You have the floor now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
I'm going to share my screen now.
Please do.
I'm going to see whether I can share my screen now. Just a second. There you go. Can you see my screen?
No, please.
So what am I not doing right? Share screen. On your host, all participants. So can you see my screen?
No, please.
So what's happening? Because I've pressed the share screen and...
Please take it one more time.
Yes. Wow.
Please take it one more time.
I don't know what I'm not doing right.
Please check the share screen.
Wow. Yes. When I press it, it gives me rather instructions. Who can share screen? Only host, all participants, only host, and all participants. That's all that comes up. It does not allow me to share my screen.
You I think are clicking on the arrow. Don't click on the arrow. Just click on the share screen, green button. You are clicking on the arrow.
Yeah, but that's exactly okay. I've pressed it. It's showing slides as virtual background.
Yes. No.
It said I have a green screen.
No, but we have now. You are allowed to all participants, so you should be able to share. Alternatively, you send us your presentation. We will share it from here.
Wow. I don't know what I'm not doing right here.
You have the opportunity to share. You've been given the right. Please check.
Yeah, but okay. When I press the green screen, it takes me to who can share. It's giving me instructions about who can share.
No, it is allowed for all.
Wow. Sarah, can I send you the document, then you help me share?
Please do.
Will that work?
You can send it by email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What about WhatsApp?
That's fine. I would
What
have to
about
upload
WhatsApp?
it. Yeah, please do.
Okay, let me share it with you now.
Okay, thank you.
Because it looks like there are challenges here. Okay.
Please, have you been able to share?
Yeah, I've sent it to you as it comes.
Not yet, please. Okay, just a minute.
Wow.
That's technology for you.
I tell you.
Technology for you. We'll get over it soon. Hello, guests. Please give us just a few minutes to get it sorted.
Okay, I'm sending the file. I'm sending the file on the screen here.
Once you have you should be able to share.
Well, it's I don't understand what's happening.
You can attach the file on the chat also, we'll get it.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to put it on the chat.
Great. Please, can you see the screen?
Baptista, you got the. Now we can see the screen. We had the screen for 1 minute.
Yes, you got a screen, but you went back again.
Can you minimize this WhatsApp screen?
Hello, Kola, you got a screen, but if you are sharing, I couldn't also share at the same time. Yeah, so you got it there. Great. Thank you. Great. Thank you all for your patience. Thank you so much, Kola.
No, because we are not.
Kolawole, you are on now. You can continue. You are on mute. Kindly unmute.
All right. So, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
we can.
please.
If you can just restart your presentation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, Sarah has done an amazing introduction of myself. So, I'm quickly going to skip that and concentrate on today's presentation. And for today's presentation, it's about healthy lifestyles beyond a meatless diet. You know, when I was listening to Sarah, it just occurred to me, I said, how come I've not connected with this organization all this time? Because, you know, she was just echoing all the things that we've been saying for the past decade or so. And so going forward, I think we are going to do a lot of stuff with ProHumane, seriously. So today, we're going to look at the objectives for today's presentation, and then we key into the topic for the day, which is healthy lifestyles and meatless diet and nutrition. Wow. Hello? Hello?
You click on your screen so that
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
we can hear. We can hear.
Okay. So the objectives
Yes,
for
please.
today, is to look at first and foremost the toxic realms of pharmacology. I heard when Sarah was making the brief introduction, he spoke a lot about that, about what medication and stuff is doing to us and most people for conditions that you can eat your way through. And one of the objectives of today's presentation is to also encourage people to be their own doctors. It's very, very important to me. And then, of course, it's quite very important that people come to understand that their health is in their own hands. And it is very important that they become their own primary care providers. It's very, very important. That is, anytime you are not feeling well, anytime you are diseased, your body is not at ease, who do you call on? Who do you talk to? We are urging people to make sure that they look within themselves, at their own lifestyle, be their own doctors, and be their primary care providers. Now, in terms of meatless diet and nutrition or eating healthy and stuff like that, it is quite very important that there's a need for you to create a community of support, because most people, that is where the challenge is, because they don't get the support. They are kind of a bit challenged having to do it their own. Today I had a call from someone who had arthritic conditions, spondylosis, sciatica issue and stuff, and we're having a chat. And I was trying to explain to the person that, look, you can eat your way through all these things because it's lifestyle ailments. And her concern was that, oh, are you asking me to be a vegetarian? I said, no, not necessarily. But you can really eat your way out of it. Your challenge is that, so she said, where am I going to get fruits? Where am I going to get vegetables? And all these challenges. I said, no. Once you have a community of support, this is as easy as ABC. And ironically, that's how I met Empress One, which is Sarah. We met in a community, and that's why we are here today. Now, let's look at the toxic realms of pharmacology, because this is what this thing is all about. The reason why we are talking about eating healthily and eating a plant-based diet predominantly is because of the effects of the toxic realms of pharmacology. And what's that? You know, it has become the norm in modern society to visit the local pharmacy for an over-the-counter medication or your doctor for a prescription to relieve a symptom that has manifested itself in your body and is taking your attention from the norm of life. Look, I do know some people who walk around permanently with paracetamol in their pockets. Paracetamol, like a first aid. Anytime they are feeling pain, headache and things, their first option is to take the paracetamol. If you go to the US, which I visit quite enough, Tylenol is one of the best-selling products of all time. There is not a single home in the US, and I've been to almost 23 states. There's not been any single home I've entered that I've not seen Tylenol in their cabinets. Now, the reason why people use pharmaceutical or allopathic medication are for basically for 5 reasons. You know, first and foremost, to mask the symptoms of disease until the body heals itself. So basically, itself. So in the meantime, you take it to mask some of the symptoms, or you gravitate towards inflammatory drugs, like I said, paracetamol, Tylenol, antacids, and antipyretics. These are basically why people take medication. Secondly, is to replace a permanent malfunction in the body, like the thyroid, diabetes medication, hypertension medication, and stuff like that. The third reason is to alter a normal body function to accommodate a lifestyle. This is very, very common, like contraceptives, cholesterol medications. People are looking for quick fixes. You know, they don't have the comfort and the luxury to let the body heal itself. Because of economic situation, they must go to work. They are having headache. You are asking them to drink water and sleep, because invariably, as far as I know, over 80 to 90% of headaches, when you take water, take coconut water, and sleep it off, most of the headaches will go away. So, but people can't afford to do that because of economic reasons. They have a job to do, they work nights, during the day, they have to be alive. If they are even feeling headache, Tylenol or paracetamol so that they get going. The fourth reason is to eliminate foreign agents or congestion from the body that disrupt the normal body functions. So things like laxatives, antibiotics and stuff. And all these things, they're natural modalities to take care of them. I always say that for lack of knowledge, our people truly are perishing. So this creates a very good opportunity to discuss some of these things. The last one is to alter the central nervous system when the mind and body experiences are in imbalance. That is antidepressants and all that kind of things. Today, from our practice, we've gotten to know that people who find themselves in this kind of condition, once they are put on medications, their situation doesn't get any better. It gets worse. They become very dependent and addictive to it. So that's another problem. Now, for these reasons, it sounds wonderful that medicines can do all this, right? This is good, right? Well, we must acquaint ourselves with the fact that pharmaceuticals in itself is a big business from all parts of the world. You go and drill down and you follow the money, you will understand that, I always tell people, how come there are beautiful hospitals? Some of them are like hotels, 5 stars. And the only way you can afford to enjoy those hospitals or those facilities is when you are sick. Even when you take a country like Ghana, I find it amazing. I hear the government always touting about the number of people who have enrolled on the National Health Insurance Scheme. For me, what it's telling me is that more and more people are getting sick. That's why more and more people are enrolling. Why don't you emphasize on preventive care so that people do not get sick in the first place? 98% of the NHIS budget is actually allocated to import pharmaceutical drugs. And it is debilitating. It's huge cost to the nation. So you can imagine if people are eating very well, depending less on pharmaceutical drugs, the cost saving that will be for the country. And the question is, why isn't our governments emphasizing more and using even 1/10 of that budget to preventive care? Like Sarah said, things like yoga, exercises, eating healthy, fruits and vegetables, and cut down on our health budget. Now, depending on the level of toxicity, a personal detox regime can be formulated to take care of most of these issues. Now, I did say that Sarah's intro was quite amazing. When she was speaking, I was just listening and I said, this looks like me speaking, because he's raising the issues that we have been talking about. And for me, if we are talking about healthy lifestyles, it doesn't come anywhere short of anything more than the 6 natural doctors, which she identified as the New Start program. All the elements are there. The ones that I didn't see, if I'm not too sure because the slides was going too quickly, was the last element here, stress-free lifestyle, a reality. So she spoke about water, which is quite important. So we are encouraging people to hydrate because water is basically our first food. We are 70-75% water. From the brain, our blood, everything is water. So if you don't have enough water in your system, you are sick. There is a book, I've even forgotten the author. I said, we are not sick, we are thirsty. And it's true, most people are sick, not because they are sick per se, but because they've not drank enough water. And it's amazing if you come to our country, for example. Do you know, I get a lot of clients visiting me, and when you ask them why they don't take enough water, you know what they tell you? That, when I'm going to town, there's a tendency that if I take too much water, I'll be peeing. Can you imagine? The reason why that is happening is that governments have not governments, local governments and stuff like that have not provided enough facilities for people to be able to visit the restroom. So even basic amenities like that is denying us the opportunities to take care of ourselves. So water is very important. Plant-based diet and nutrition is key. Now, people always, I've met too many people who say, no, I don't want to be a vegetarian. I don't want to be this, that. I said, no problem. Along the line, when we introduce them to plant-based food over time, they see the benefits, and more often than not, some of them become even more vegan than myself. So when sometimes I meet clients or my customers, and their first reaction is that, no, I don't want to be that. I laugh. I said, no problem. That's not what we are saying here. And so it's quite informative for we to be appreciative of this. Of course, I'm not asking everybody to be a vegan or a vegetarian. Interestingly, like Sarah also introduced again, I'm the current president of the Vegetarian Association of Ghana. And it's a unique association in terms of vegetarianism in Ghana, because even though we term ourselves as vegetarian, our association is open to everyone. We don't care whether you eat your meat or not, because this is our argument. How can you encourage people to eat healthily, to gravitate towards plant-based diet, if they can't see things visible? Why can't they be part of our community and see what is possible? So our association welcomes everyone. And then we help you transit from healthy lifestyle to vegetarianism, and then ultimately to veganism. You can stop wherever you want to be. All we are saying is that ensure that you are eating healthily. I was about 110 kilos before I discovered this lifestyle. I shed 30 kilos plus without going to any gym, doing anything, all because I stopped eating those things that was enabling me put on that weight. So today, I do not eat anything that walks, jumps, flies, runs, swims, has eyes, has a mother and a father. I don't touch it, but that's the choice. And I always say that it's been easier for me to go on this journey because I own this center. And as I go through my daily routines and take care of my clients, I see what food can do to the human body. So it's a constant reminder, and I don't see how I can gravitate towards eating animal or meat products. Of course, good air too is very important. Today, the quality of air is already impaired. It's a big challenge. And so I always encourage people, find time, sometimes go out of the countryside and get some good air. Sunshine. Can you imagine, for us in this part of the world, God has been so wonderful that almost throughout the year we see the sun, and that is free vitamin D for you. You are being given a free vitamin, which we call the sunshine vitamin. And I encourage almost everyone to spend 25 to 30 minutes in the early morning sun, anytime between 8:30, 9, all the way to noon. Spend 25, 30 minutes and see what it will do for you. Don't take my word for it, just try it. Of course, exercise is also very important. Like we always say, if you don't use it, you lose it. We are made for movement. We are supposed to move. So if you don't move, your body will move you. You understand? And good sleep. You can do all these things. If you are not having good sleep, it has its own elements. And then the last thing that I always emphasize is what we call the silent killer. That is, it is very important and informative for people to live a stress-free life. I ask the question, a reality, because most people don't even believe that they can live a stress-free life. Maybe they think it's easier said than done, but it is possible. And we'll just look at that quickly. Now, this slide is always an exciting aspect for me. It's so passionate because when we are talking about stress-free life, your life purpose becomes very important. You know, when you enter a vehicle, whatever form of vehicle, car, aeroplane, bike, whatever, and for example, it's a public commuting vehicle, and you don't know where it's going and you join it, it will take you anywhere. These are the 4 questions I would like to throw to you all. You know, I expect anybody to answer it here, but I need you to ponder on it. Firstly, who is God? What is your concept of who God is? The second question is, who are you? Who are you? Who would you say you are? The third question is, why are you here? There are about 7.4 billion of us, and I can guarantee everyone here, every single one of us is here for a purpose. There's a reason why we are here. And the universe and God has made sure that he gives you a gift to fulfill that purpose. So you have 2 challenges. Firstly, you should find a life purpose and you should identify your gift and fulfill that life purpose. We are all here to evolve. Look at me, a banker for almost 21 years. Now I'm talking about health and wellness. I found my passion. I found my life purpose. And I have known that my gift that God gave me is what I'm doing here. Public presentation, touching lives. These are things I'll do even if I'm not paid. And I do it all the time. Look at me here. I connected with Sarah. I'm not being paid. Any day, if you ask me to come 200 times, I'll show up here because this is the reason why I'm here. And the last one is after transition, what next? Let's all remember that we are eternal souls. When you study all the great religions, they will always tell you, we are not of flesh, we are soul beings. And the issue is that when that soul leaves the body and the body is lying there, where does it go? For me, that's my definition of religion. All the religions are trying to answer the question, life after. And people allow their personal idiosyncrasies to come into play. And that is when others control others. So these 4 questions I've asked, ponder on it. Give it a deep thought. Now the question is, after depending on whatever religion that you may belong to, because there's a big difference between religion and spirituality. It's a subject for another day. But whatever religion that you pursue or whatever your concept about God is, after, if it is the Torah, the Bible, the Quran, Buddhism, or whatever, after all said and done, and whatever great books is telling you, whether it's the Bible, the Quran, the Torah is telling you, you should be able to be in the position and ask yourself, what do I know? You should be able to answer these questions from a knowledge base that I know, because the God, the universe is with us, is within us. When you tap deep into it, you have answers to these questions. When you are able to answer these 4 questions, you live your life on purpose. And when you live your life on purpose, you make certain decisions in your life. Some of them you will not do anymore, and some of them you will start doing. And that is the first step in eliminating what stress is all about. Now, in terms of healthy lifestyle, like I just explained, we're physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual beings. We are all in all. But first and foremost, we are spiritual beings. Now, when you have a condition in your spirit, which is who you are, and it's not dealt with over a sustained period, it manifests in an emotional, mental stress. And if it is not dealt with over a period, you see the so in truth, health conditions
Hello, Kola, can you reposition? We are losing you. Oops. veered off briefly. Let's see if we are able to get him in a few minutes. Great. He's reconnecting. He's reconnecting. I think the network at his end, he veered off briefly. He's reconnecting. Welcome back, Kola. We lost you briefly. I think your network threw you out.
Okay.
So I'm sharing your screen since I have the presentation.
My laptop, the internet is gone, so now I have to use my phone.
That's okay. We've loaded a presentation, so please you can see it.
So where was I? Okay, about health and wellness, right?
Yeah. So you ended a bit on that.
Okay, so I entered here. Okay, all right. So on a okay, we are back. Okay, my computer is back. Okay, my computer is back. Okay. So on the physical level, you must have good sleep. I've spoken about that. Hydration, nutrition, and then something that's very, very important to me. That is morning rituals. Very, very important. You see, the body likes order. And you must start your day with rituals that will carry you throughout the day. I saw a clip which was quite very important to me. He said, if you want to change the world, in fact, it was a clip by an US Army general. He said, if you want to change the world, you should start your day by he said, if you want to change the world, you should start your day by doing what? By making your bed first. Very, very important. Anybody who can make his bed, what right have you to go and change somebody or change the world? And you know what? Making your bed gives you a sense of accomplishment before you start your day. And it's quite very important too that when you have gone through your day and you come back, you see a bed that is well made. It is inviting, and it brings a sense of fulfillment. I know today a lot of people are affluent enough that they have house help and stuff that will do their bed. I still encourage you, cultivate the habit of making up your own bed. You see the benefits of that. Another physical thing that I also ask people to do is to stimulate their brain. The same thing like the body. If you don't use it, you lose it. If you don't read, if you don't do critical thinking, if you don't do things and engage the mind, at a later stage, when you become elderly or old, that is when you start to face experiences like dementia, Alzheimer, and stuff like that. All these things are preventable. And of course, another physical need is exercise. Next slide, please. Mary, next slide, please. Okay. The next thing too, if you remember, I spoke about you being a physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual being. The next thing is emotions. Emotional being that you are, I always say emotion is energy in motion. To control and deal with emotional issues, you have to live in the moment. Sarah, you said it all. a long time ago, when I hear things like yoga, mindfulness, meditation, I think it's something Voodooism coming from the East and stuff like that. It's about time to change our perspectives with some of these things. Today, the Western world has taken yoga, which has its original origins from ancient Egypt, Kemet times, even though the Indians too are claiming that it's originally from them. Whatever it is, whether it's from Egypt or India, the Western world has taken yoga and because and taking out the pranayama, that is the easy, slow breath work that goes with yoga practices and make money. Or meditation is nothing more than help you align mind, body, and soul. That can be well with you. And this kind of practices help you just live in the moment, meditate on things, see where they are coming from, and be more justify things that does not need to justify, and empathize with people. When you do stuff like that, you live life stress-free. So again, I'm coming back. Living a stress-free life is very, very, very doable. Everyone matters. It's quite very mattering. Everyone wants to be happy. If we know these dynamics, we start to live our life empathizing, understanding each other, and go away with all those challenges that we talk about. Next slide, please. Mental. You know, anytime that it is not well with your soul, you are not feeling well physically, you have emotional problem, your mental thoughts goes haywire completely. And you need to balance the equation by making sure that you have mental stability. Now, when I was in the bank, we had two words that we use. We call it issues and challenges. If we say it jokingly, if you come from the workplace and you come home and you can't sleep, like you try to go to bed, you can't sleep, it means that you have issues. If you do go to bed and then within 20 minutes, 1 hour, you are up and you can't sleep again, you have challenges. Now, I can tell you that some people on this platform who have both issues and challenges. You understand? You need to deal with that. Now, always remember that no matter what circumstances you are going through, it will pass. It will pass. Once you have that at the back of your mind, you'll have mental clarity and everything works. Look at me sitting here. When I left the bank, I set up a microfinance company. I lost over $1 million. I nearly went mad. That is why I found this my life purpose. I nearly died, you know? And I realized that the reason why I was having that trauma and concern and I couldn't sleep and things, I was more bothered about what people would say about me. You understand? That I owe money. I was ending up being taken to the police station because I owe money. People were taking me to the law courts. I also was taking those who owe me to the law courts and the police station every time I went crazy. You know, sometimes I lie down the whole night and I can tell you the only reason why I can't sleep is just thinking about what people will think about me. If the day you stop not giving a damn about what people think about you is when you start to get control over your life all over again. It's quite very important. Then I just said it's quite very important that we learn how to do what? How to exercise the brain. I averagely am reading 1 book a week. If you read 1 book a week through the support of Jim Quick, who teaches what we call speed reading. So you can go through a book in a week. If you can read 1 book a week, it means that you are reading 52 books in a year. I can guarantee you, your life will never be the same again. From Obama to whoever you can think of, they read. Every year, Obama gives a list of books that he's going to read or the books he read the previous year. And there are more than 52. Every successful CEO today reads. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, even if you are working for someone, you need to continue reading. I always ask people, ever since they left school, how many of them are still reading books? And mostly when I do the presentation, it's not. Most people don't read because they are too involved in day-to-day activity. You need also to do brain power exercises and eat food that like walnuts, like gotu kola. All those things are powerful food for the brain. Next slide, please. Let me round up this quickly so that I can take some questions. Then the last one, which is what Sarah also asked, what is energy work? You know, we are energy beings. We are electric beings. You understand? We are created in God's image. We are supernatural. We are who we are. I am that I am. We are powerful beyond nature. Our thoughts and mental processes define us. So first and foremost, we are spiritual beings. And that Buddhism to do when you are talking anything about spirituality, people go high wire. There's no doubt about it, and you need to connect. The Bible, for those of you who are Christians, it said, "Be still, so that you know that I am God." God is not dimensional. The supreme being is not dimensional. He has no color, shape, no form. He does not speak. Anybody who tells you God speaks, tell him that I said he's lying. So we experience God. And the only way you can experience God is to be still. And that means that you should learn mindfulness and meditate. Learn to be still so that you connect with your inner self. That is where you see the beauty of God. And then, of course, you must live your life on purpose. Like I said, there are 7.4 billion of us. Everyone here is here for a reason. If you are not here, you are not supposed to be here. Once you are here, the universe is conspiring. You have a role. You have a stake. You have, even though it looks so chaotic, you are very much part of the system and you must contribute yourself. There are two important dates in your life: the day you were born and the day you must find out why you were born. You must find those answers. And for us in life wellness, one of our goals and one of the things that we do is to help people find their life purpose. It's quite very important. Now, while you are here, do what you can and leave the rest to the universe and just be. Last slide. Next slide, please. Now, in terms of nutrition, so I finished with the lifestyle issues. Find your purpose, live a purposeful life, meditate, make sure that you are doing the 7 doctors or what. I love this. Sarah, you must share that your slides with me. The New Start program. I love that. And it contains most of the elements that I said. You are right. Today, 2 killer diseases killing everybody: coronary heart diseases and stroke. They are all lifestyle issues coming from nutrition, the food we eat, and more importantly, what? Stress. Worrying ourselves about things that we do not need to worry about. And not forgetting that no matter what we are going through, these two shall pass. If anybody here, if you don't take anything away from today's conversation, remember this: these two shall pass. No matter what you are going through, it will pass. So be at peace, be one with nature, and enjoy yourself. In terms of meatless nutrition, this is the food pyramid. Now let's understand something, and I can't help sharing it. Real food, what they call food, is food that is not denatured. It is food that has not been destroyed. It's food that has been heated up, cooked, fried, smoked, or whatever. That can be food. You understand? When we talk about food, it's food that has been made available to it in its whole form, as God wants it. Unfortunately, this is not what has happened. Over the years, we've gone through processes. People have been born, things have changed, circumstances have changed. But it doesn't mean that we have to change to the extent that now processed food dominates who we are, when naturally what we are supposed to eat. Look, how many times have I met people and asked, have you eaten today? You know what they tell me? They say, no, I've not eaten anything today. I only took some mango or banana or pawpaw in the morning. What should tell you that psychologically, the mindset is such that eating what food is not food for them. Food for them is anything that has been fried, cooked, and stuff, or anything that is in the label. You know, yesterday, somebody asked me to find a market for butter in the US, in Nigeria, because she knows that I have connections in the US. I said, butter? He said, yes. I said, is it healthy? What is the source? What is it made for? So they sent me an image and I said, send me the label, where the label is. The label asked me, man, they are talking things like rapeseed, canola oil, emulsifiers, you name it, colorings, additives. I said, how can this thing be food? How can it be food? And so I tell everyone, real food does not need a label. So if you take any food that is in a bottle, in a package, and you turn at the back and you read the label, trust me, how many of us are here? Trust me, the 12 of us. If you see anything on the label that you cannot understand, that does not make sense to you, please avoid it. Fruits, vegetables, seeds, and nuts, and water does not need any label. No label. And so, when we talk about meatless nutrition, it's possible. And the foundation for meatless nutrition is what I put on the screen. First foundation is water. That's our first food. Now, after water, the leafy greens, the fruits and vegetables are what we call foundation food. You can eat them generously. Then you can do your proteins, amino acids, and stuff like that. That is nuts, seeds. You can do that moderately. And then you go to the medicinal herbs. You understand? Like moringa, seaweed, nutritional yeasts, microgreens, juicing, and stuff like that. This is what food is. Now, having said that, I'm not asking everybody to be a vegan or vegetarian. But what I'm asking you, the general rule that applies to every situation. Do me, worst case scenario, worst case, if you can't do anything, do a 50-50. 50% this that is on your screen, and 50% your labeling, your cooked food, all those things that you are taking. If you want to up the antenna in the game, do a 60-40. If you are up to the task and you want to be healthy and avoid all these sicknesses and things, do a 70-30. That is 70% of what you are seeing on the screen and 30% of what all these things that I've described. If you don't want to be sick at all and you want to live up to 100 years, fit, able, do everything, not wear spectacles and everything. I used to be spectacled. I used to wear spectacles. When I went vegan, you can see me. I'm reading this small screen. I can read my letters and everything. I don't need spectacles. My eyesight corrected because I went vegan, plant-based. Okay? If you don't want to be sick, live into your hundreds, be well and able and things, do me 80% what's on the screen and 20%. What it means is that it's not too difficult. Do me 1 cooked meal a day and 2 food, what I call food on the screen in a day. That's all you need to do. In our association, the Vegetarian Association of Ghana, every Monday we declared it Raw Food Mondays. So every Monday, we don't eat any cooked meal. Then once every quarter for 7 days, we do raw food, no cooked meal. Now, when you add the 7 days raw food times 4, because we do it every quarter, it's 28 days. Then you add the 52 days that we do the raw food, we get 100 plus 900. You get about 100 days. That is 48 plus 52. We are getting 100 days of eating raw food. Look, tried and tested. Your life will never be the same again. And it's not too difficult if you are doing just Monday or 1 day raw food and 7 days raw food every quarter. It's not too difficult. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. We're almost done. Now, for you to be able to deal with this, no, previous slide, for you to be able to do the meatless, the next one. Okay, I've always said it. No, that's too fast. That's too fast. The last slide before that. Okay, listen, the only reason why people challenge or people think it's so difficult that they can't do is because they don't have the community support. You need to be part of a community of like-minded people, like VegGhana or wherever you want to go, so that they can support you on your meatless diet journey. And then get connected with like-minded people. Because if you are in the midst of meat-eating people, you eat meat. If you are in the midst of healthy eaters, not necessarily vegetarian or vegan, but people who are eating healthily, who are doing a 70-30 or a 60-40 or at least 50-50, you get the support and you do well. Do you know that throughout West Africa, Accra, Ghana, or Ghana has the lowest intake of fruits and vegetables? If you've traveled throughout the West Coast, you will understand. I was with EcoBank, the audit team. So I was traveling throughout West Africa. Most of the French countries, they eat their salads, fruits, vegetables. When you go to Nigeria, the local food takes precedence. In Ghana, now it's check, Indomie, Frito. Those are the things. Now they've added KFC and McDonald's is coming and all those things. And like I said, people feel as if when they don't eat a cooked meal, they've not eaten for the day. We need to start changing lives, and we can do this successfully. Now, Sarah has said it. I'm the president of the Vegetarian Association, and we have a community that can support anybody who wants to do this. And I also am the CEO of Life Wellness Holistic Center that provides most of the things that I've shared. If you want support, you can always get in touch. And of course, I've just launched my nutritional store. It's amazing. That's where I'm doing the presentation from. From all the basic things that you see me listing, the fruit, the natural sweetness, seeds and nuts, microgreens, everything that you need to support you as condiments to your real food is available for you. And there are a lot of health shops like that. The uniqueness of our facility is that we combine mind, body, and soul and the physical attributes that you need for you to help you on your journey. With that, I say a thank you for this opportunity. And I'm so excited anytime that I have to touch lives and share these experiences with everyone. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much, Kola. We are very grateful for the opportunity. Thank you sincerely. Sorry, guests, we've proceeded beyond the 7 o'clock. We had a little bit of technical issues. Please forgive us. We'll open the floor for just 1 or 2 questions, then we can end our session for today. Please feel free to ask a question.
Sorry for the glitches and I'm not technologically challenged, but this one, they over me.
Technology has its own challenges sometimes. So we would welcome a question or 2, if any, then we can progress to ending the session. Anyone having a question or 2, please feel free to come up. Anyone having a question or 2? Okay, thank you so much. You were so audible enough. Everything you shared, people got it so clearly. So thank you so much. You kept making reference to the New Start program.
Thank you.
So that's just the New Start program. We talked about nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, air, rest, trust in God, and you have added a stress-free life. So thank you so much for that addiction. We are very grateful. So on this note, we would want to say a very big thank you to you for joining. Thank you all who joined for so many other places. And thank you to you, Kola, for the opportunity to share your rich insight with us. We are privileged and happy to collaborate with you to take this whole agenda to the next level. Thank you so much. So by way of
we're going to do more
announcement,
things together.
yes.
Thank you.
So by way of announcement, our next session will be on 27th April. We meet twice in the month, so on Tuesdays. So our next session will be 27th April 2021.
Okay.
Like 6 to 7 o'clock p.m. GMT. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
today. And to end our session, join me as we celebrate our good health again. Our health is our wealth. Let's live in good health. Good health, we all can live it well. With issues of good health, it can never be too late. You can start from today to living a healthy, good life. Thank you so much, and we wish you a blessed, healthy week in the Lord. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you too.
Thank